And it's down the road we go. Happy Wednesday, 6th day of November 2019. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley is on the air. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Life Channel. And we have got a jam-packed show for you today. Obviously, our top news story will be election results from last night's election. Pretty interesting numbers we're going to be throwing your way. Some incumbents will not be returning to their various seats. Got a lot to talk about. Election results will be leading our newscast here in just a couple of minutes. As far as the weather is concerned, it's a gorgeous morning, but they have extended the air stagnation advisory. It goes until noon on Friday. We need some wind. We don't have any wind. So again, we got some pollutants that could very well be trapped close to the valley floor. We'll talk about that when we get to the weather forecast. The high pressure ridge, which has been dominating our weather for the last week or so, is still there. It's eventually going to start breaking down, which would allow for a little mixture in the atmosphere. But it hasn't happened yet, and it probably won't even happen until towards the end of this week and into the weekend before we finally get some clean air for the Wenatchee Valley. It's actually not bad. The air quality is good, but it could be better. Forecast details are coming up. Sports, lots of sports to talk about, as you might imagine. We also have all the stuff you're used to. Mike McNaughty has an opinion coming your way. We have some celebrity birthdays. We got Today in History, and we also have the Obscure Holiday. And once again, I'll let you know how you can win 4 tickets to see the Wenatchee Wild. These are ticket vouchers. You can use them any game you want, any regular season game you want that isn't sold out anyway. You can use them this weekend when the Penticton V's are in town. You can use them later on in the season. There are 4 of them. You can use 1 this weekend and 3 later on. You can go 2 and 2. You can use them all 4. It doesn't matter to us. We'll let you know how you can win those tickets. I'll give the tickets away, by the way, on Friday for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is 34 degrees, gorgeous sunrise going on right now. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras, courtesy of local hotels Sky-Fi high-speed wireless get up. The only camera that we always use every morning, and it always gets to go first, provided, of course, it's not completely fogged over, is that camera, the cross camera. And Megan has it tilted down just a little bit and zoomed out just a little bit. So both Badger and Birch Mountain are within your view. Look at the sun bathing the greater Sunny Slope area. The sun is up. It's been up for about 11 minutes. It came up at 6:52 this morning. It'll go down at 4:37 tonight. That buys us 9 hours and 35 minutes at daylight. Yesterday's high, 54 on Tuesday. Our normal high would be 49, so it was a little warmer than normal. But the overnight low was cooler than normal. We got down to 27 for the overnight low Tuesday. Our normal overnight low will be should be around 35 degrees. So there you go. There's our lovely view from the cross camera. From this point forward, it is what we call Megan's choice. She gets to decide. And she says, let's pay a cool visit to that incredible view of that area there that I don't recognize. That's Union Valley. Union Valley, we use that camera quite often, but not that angle. That's looking back towards the Manson area. That's pointing up Lake Wenatchee, Lake Chelan, I should say. You can see Wapato Point out there. And most of the beautiful Manson area, the Union Valley camera, most of the time we have it pointed directly across the lake towards Chelan proper and the Chelan Butte. But no, we got it pointed to the northwest today. Good view from Union Valley. And good morning to our folks in Chelan. Camera number 3. Let's see if she's going to throw another loop my way. And she did, because I can't make that out. Oh, that's the Tumwater Canyon camera, the Tumwater Canyon camera. There, I said that. Leavenworth, good morning down there. Of course, Leavenworth's going to have a new mayor. Sherry Farivar decided not to run for re-election. That has not been decided yet, but I'll give you those numbers when we get to the news. Good morning to the Bavarian village of Leavenworth. All of these cameras, of course, courtesy of Sky-Fi. And finally, camera 4. We do a slow dissolve, and we're going to say hello to Billy Goat. Haven't used that one in a while. What a spectacular view from Billy Goat. Way off in the distance, that little bump that you see in the upper center of your screen, and the other bump way over there to the left. Those mountains are in Canada. That's how high up that camera is. The mighty Columbia with the Methow roaring into the Columbia. You can see Pateros and Brewster. Can't see Bridgeport, of course. Bridgeport is tucked behind the ridge there. And we would love to point this up the Methow Valley towards Twisp and Carlton and that area. But that's where the support guy wires are. These things, of course, these cameras, PTZ cameras, sit on towers, and the towers have to have support mechanisms to keep them from falling over. And unfortunately, one of the guy wires and one of the support mechanisms that keep that tower in ship-shop top shape is right down the viewfinder up the Methow Valley. Well, you can't win them all. Gorgeous views there from around North Central Washington. I didn't mention my guests today. Shame on me. The Wenatchee School District's All-District Musical is Matilda. It opens next weekend at the Wenatchee High School Auditorium, and my conversation today will be with Paul Atwood, who's no stranger to this program. Paul is extremely active in the theater scene. Paul is directing the musical Matilda. He will be joining me in the second half of the show. This is an interview that we taped last week. And the two Matildas, there are two leads in this play. One is played by Celia Kiesz and the other by Kate Berry. They both came by to visit me at the same time. That's a great conversation. You're going to look forward to that. I'm looking forward to it, and I already know it because I recorded it. Anyway, that's coming up in the back half of the hour. It's 6 minutes after the hour. Let's take a look at your weather forecast from our good friends at Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Give your home a hug today. You can get a hold of them online at callpatriot.net. And there we go. Again, the air stagnation advisory, it expired at 9 o'clock yesterday morning, and at 9:30 they made it go back into effect again. So we didn't have an air stagnation advisory for about a half an hour yesterday, and they said, no, we're not there yet. We still have this long, prolonged period of very stable, very dry weather, absolutely no wind in the forecast, and that's what we need. We need winds, even light winds would mix up the atmosphere, but it has not happened yet, so they brought it back. The air stagnation advisory is now in effect until noon on Friday, so we have that strong morning inversion. That's really when it's had its worst, is this time of the day. So the dispersion of the pollution, air pollution, doesn't happen. There you go. Now we do have a weak weather disturbance is going to come our way on Saturday and Sunday. The high pressure dome is just ginormous. It's huge, and it's not moving anywhere, but it's slowly going to break down, and that's going to allow some marine air to come in. Finally, maybe we'll get some light air. Some light winds to knock out this air stagnation advisory. If that happens, that'll happen on Friday afternoon. So lots of sunshine today. We'll top off about 52, just a couple of degrees above normal. 31 for the overnight low is a little on the cool side for this time of year. 50 on Thursday. Lots of sunshine Friday, just a couple of passing high clouds. Then that weak system comes in as the high pressure ridge begins to break down. That happens Friday night into Saturday. Looks like a fairly cloudy weekend on Saturday and Sunday, but look at the warmer temperatures. And the reason it's going to be so warm is that the overnight lows will be considerably above normal. We'll finally be able to get some heat trapped down on the valley floor. It's going to warm us up to well above normal. Normal high this time of year is about 48 or 49. We'll be in the lower 60s, they tell us, the National Weather Service, by Saturday. And again, the air stagnation advisory is going to go until Friday at noon. We'll keep a close eye on the air quality. Hasn't really been much of an issue here in the Wenatchee Valley, but that air stagnation advisory is for all of eastern Washington. So there you go. There's your 7-day forecast from our friends at Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. It's 8 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have a whole bunch of election results coming your way. The news is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're broadcasting live this morning from Studio 15 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
My first experience with CVCH, I had to come in with my daughter by myself with a cut in my hand that required stitches. And the care and compassion at CVCH was really significant, that they took the care and compassion and made me feel more as a human instead of just a patient there. The care they have for their community all around, inside and outside the clinic, is what I feel like is different. And that's what makes me want to come back to CVCH and recommend them to my friends and family.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, independent agent and owner at Springwater Insurance Group here in North Central Washington. And one of the things we enjoy doing is teaching people how to find the right Part D drug plan. And if you went into a shoe shop and they just sat you down and handed you a pair of shoes, that'd be confusing. You'd want them to measure. Well, we take a measurement at Springwater Insurance Group. We ask you 4 questions. What's the name, the dose, the frequency, and the pharmacy for your medications? This allows us to measure and get the right fit for 2020. Give us a call at Springwater Insurance Group for the right fit for your drug plan at 888-2600.
Just about 10 minutes after the hour, fair skies, 34 degrees, lots of sunshine right through the rest of the week. We'll cloud up for the weekend. Temperatures, afternoon highs anyway, in the lower 50s. Here's what's making headlines. As you might imagine, it is election related. 2 incumbents on the Wenatchee School Board appear to be heading out the door last night. District voters opting for a change. In one case, they overturned a school board president they just voted into office 2 years ago. Let's look at the numbers. Sonny Hemphill lost last night's vote to challenger Martin Barron, who was well ahead, 64% of the vote for Martin Barron. Sonny Hemphill joined the board and became the chairman after the 2017 election. She was one of 3 newcomers who campaigned that year as reformers for the Wenatchee School District. Barron pulled down 3,328 votes in yesterday's count. Hemp Hill has 1,820. Her fellow board member, Karina Vega Villa, lost to Tim Larson, a challenger who moved out of the district after filing to run. So Larson can't serve because he doesn't live in the district, and Vega Villa can't serve because she lost the election. So Vega Villa, her seat's going to be vacated, and it'll have to be filled by a board appointment come January. Vega Villa herself was just appointed by the Wenatchee School District Board in January of this year. Laura Jakes, as you see there, is the only incumbent guaranteed to keep her seat. She holds a 61% of the vote over challenger Melissa Teagard, who came in at 38%. In the Wenatchee City Council races, Linda Harold will return to City Hall as an at-large council member, the first elected to represent all the residents since the city moved to the district-based voting last year. Linda Harold directs the Wenatchee Convention Center and has served on the City Council since 2012. She currently represents District 1, but she lives in District 3, which is not up for election until 2021. She overcame Jorge Chacon, a professional counselor, with 63% of the vote. Jorge Luis Cuervas will become South Wenatchee's first official council representative. He defeated Roberto Vargas Mata in District 1 with 61%. Travis Hornsby, by the way, took the District 4 seat over Melanie Wacholder, 58% to 41%. More election news. City of East Wenatchee, Jerry Lee Crawford holds the lead over Tim Dieterine to replace Mayor Steve Lacey. The results yesterday show Crawford with 667 votes, Dieterine 582 votes. That's 53.40% for Crawford, 46.60% for Dieterine. Both are currently members of the City Council, and they're seeking to replace longtime Mayor Steve Lacey. Tight race to replace Sherry Farivar as Mayor of Leavenworth. Carl Floria getting 256 votes. Scott Bradshaw has 227 votes. That's 53% to 47%. Cashmere Mayor Jim Fletcher, who was appointed to the position last year, appears to have been elected for a 4-year term in his own right. Jim Fletcher has 241 votes for mayor of Cashmere, easily outdistancing his opponent, as you see there. In the race between the mayor of Chelan and the former mayor of Chelan, former Mayor Bob Getty holds a lead of just under 100 votes over Mayor Mike Cooney. The first returns yesterday have Getty with 511 votes, Mike Cooney 414 votes. Cooney has been mayor since 2016. He was seeking his second term. Getty served 8 years as mayor from 2008 to 2015. John Alt, who was appointed mayor of Aniad in 2018, will go down to defeat his challenger Mike Buckingham has a commanding lead, 190 votes, 62%. John Alt has 115 votes. And seeking to replace longtime Waterville Mayor Royal Devaney, Jill Daling Thompson and Lloyd Smith, who are separated by, are you ready for this, just 2 votes. Thompson has 133 votes. Smith has 131 votes. Now, in Chelan County, 12,011 votes were tallied yesterday. There's an estimated 5,900 ballots yet to be counted. Turnout in Chelan County, not counting the ballots that still have not been counted, only is at 26%. That will go up, but really not by much. We don't have any of those numbers as far as the turnout for Douglas County yet. We'll hope to have that for the evening news tonight. The next counting of ballots, the next dumping of ballots, more numbers will come our way at 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon, and links to all of the auditors' websites and all of the local results are available by going to our website at ncwlife.com. We'll have more election results tonight at 5 o'clock. In other news, an East Wenatchee tobacco merchant is accused of illegally selling cannabis vape cartridges to an undercover liquor control officer last year. Ahmed Sarama, a 34-year-old Wenatchee man, allegedly sold $780 worth of marijuana extract in the April 2018 sting operation, even though his shop, Kanzaman Tobacco and Gifts in the Wenatchee Valley Mall, is not licensed for cannabis sales. Douglas County prosecutors charged Sarama last month with delivery of a controlled substance. He's due to be arraigned 2 weeks from now. The Kanzaman shop has not been penalized by the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board. Well, a group of Wenatchee Valley fruit growers have withdrawn their federal lawsuit that challenged the federal pay rate for farm workers. McDougall & Sons and Columbia Fruit Packers joined a Yakima Fruit Company in September to sue over the U.S. Department of Labor standards, which raised the minimum wage in July for many orchard workers from $5.03 an hour to $16. an hour. Growers said the new pay scale was based on inaccurate calculations and worried it would unfairly raise their costs for the 2019 apple harvest. But that harvest is now all but over, and the plaintiffs did not get the injunction that they were seeking to keep the minimum wage at its lower level. Well, one of the suspects in that burglary and police pursuit last Friday in Moses Lake, arrested again Sunday, found hiding in a washing machine. Moses Lake police say 30-year-old Tim Riggins of Moses Lake was with Kevin Beamish on Friday when a reported burglary turned into a 20-minute car chase. Beamish was arrested after spike strips disabled the van he was driving. Riggins, however, broke out a window in the car. He ran. He was caught, but he wasn't booked because of the injuries he suffered. Now, on Sunday, he reportedly threatened and robbed a woman and stole her car. After police spotted him in the Gateway Estates neighborhood, Riggins ran into an acquaintance's house. They then found Riggins hiding in the washing machine. Police said, and I'm quoting now, "This was not as difficult as it seems. The washing machine had a see-through lid." End quote. Riggins, by the way, knows Rex the canine very well. He's been bitten twice by the dog in a September arrest. This time he wanted no part of the animal, as you might imagine. After his arrest, police reported finding 3 homemade explosive devices that were located by the Richland Bomb Squad. Interesting stuff there. Well, the Chelan County Port District is making a major investment in the future development of Wenatchee's Warehouse District. Port commissioners yesterday gave the green light to proceed with the purchase of Lineage Logistics, their South Campus. The property's there. They're going to buy it for $4.5 million. The purchase includes several old fruit storage buildings. The port intends to divide into smaller parcels that could be marketed for private sale and development. Commissioner Rory Turner said the property's location between downtown Wenatchee and the riverfront presents a lot of exciting opportunities for private development.
I'm very passionate about this because this is what I just love doing. But when you look at these little buildings, Building E, Building D, Building C, these are small 5,000 square foot buildings. You price those at our cost, whatever that is, and I do think we need to have a common parking lot because you can't divide the parking lot, I don't think. But then you have these small users that can step in and for, a couple $100,000, they get a warehouse on Columbia Street, and there's another brewery or a furniture manufacturer or a performance art folks or an entertainment district or a trampoline because of the, the height, It's the stuff that we don't have in our town right now. This is the opportunity to do that, and I think this is just Jim's ideas and staff. This is brilliant. This is good stuff because we can get this into private sector, not only investment grade private sector, but end users.
The port, by the way, intends to work with the city to determine a shared vision for the property. It's also possible that the port will retain ownership of 1 or 2 buildings for future business development. The next step will involve an environmental cleanup assessment. By the way, the Lineage Logistics North Campus property, not part of the deal. It'll remain on the market for sale. And finally this morning, Ramon Rivera, the celebrated director of the Wenatchee School District's Mariachi program, stepping down. Rivera said in a letter to parents and students that his attention needs to be with his family right now. Eddie Cortez, the assistant director, will take over Rivera's classes. Rivera joined the Mariachi program in 2005, has gained national renown for Mariachi Wenatchee, the advanced class. They performed at numerous high-profile events throughout the country, including at a Garth Brooks concert at the state and national capitals. They were most recently at a music festival in Fairbanks, Alaska. Best of luck to my good friend Ramon Rivera. And that's what's making headlines on this Wednesday morning at 19 minutes after the hour. Some of the news stories we're working on tonight. It's going to be a busy day at the newsroom, as you might imagine, with a preview. Here's our anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, the Wenatchee Valley will be sports central the next 2 days as the Wenatchee Panthers and the Eastmont Wildcats face off for the Big 9 Soccer Championship tonight and then battle it out again tomorrow night on the gridiron in the Bridge of Sportsmanship game. I'll have your complete weather forecast for both events, and Eric Granstrom will have interviews and previews of both big matchups. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. We appreciate it. Don't forget, we'd love to hear from you, our viewers. We make it as easy as possible. All the tools are available for you. You can email us, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com. You can go to our website. You want to bookmark our website. We populate it all the time, ncwlife.com. You can also contact us via our website. And don't forget, complete election results is also available on our website. We have links to both the Chelan and Douglas County Auditors websites, so you can peruse and see how your candidates and your issues did. You can check that out. You can also pick up the telephone and give us a call. You can go to our Facebook page and message us that way, too. A lot of people like to do that. We love to hear from you, our viewers. This is as much your station as it is ours. We're going to take a break. We have quite a bit of sports to get to, plus the obscure holiday. We got today in history. We got some celebrity birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. And the director and 2 cast members of the Wenatchee School District's All-District Musical, Matilda, coming up in the back half of the hour. You're watching a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales.
Where you can expect a hassle-free car buying experience. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support. We're back 22 minutes after the hour. Let's start sports with soccer, and Kashmir moves on to the next round of the playoffs. A thrilling double overtime victory over Okanagan last night on their home pitch. The final was 2-1. Claire Norman scored the game winner in the second overtime session after Carly Diaz got Kashmir on the board in the first half. So the Bulldogs will play a crossover game at Freeman Saturday at 2 o'clock. Ephrata earned the number 3 seed in the crossover game out of the CWAC with a 4-3 win over Othello. The Tigers will host West Valley out of Spokane Saturday at 1 o'clock in a winner-to-state, loser-out game. Celia, by the way, the district champion after a 1-0 win over Ellensburg. Moses Lake earned a spot in the District 6 4A tournament after a 4-1 win over Eisenhower last night. The Chiefs will face Davis in the next round of the playoffs. The Pirates ended West Valley's season 3-1. A trip to state is on the line tonight at Wildcat Stadium in East Wenatchee. Eastmont will host the Wenatchee Panthers for the district championship. We will have it right here on the NCW Live channel, 6:30 airtime. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen with the call. The loser will drop back to a last chance at state Saturday game against the winner of Davis and Moses Lake. The losers will play Saturday at 1 o'clock. To the Les Schwab scoreboard we go in volleyball last night. Congratulations to Eastmont. They advanced to the district tournament with a win last night over Davis, 25-14, 15-18. They'll take on Moses Lake in the next round. That'll be Saturday at West Valley High School. The Chiefs advanced with a sweep of Eisenhower. By the way, Ephrata ended Quincy's season in the CWAC district tournament, 3-1. At the B tournament in Brewster, Waterville Mansfield advanced with a win over Liberty Bell, and Brewster won the district title with a 3-1 win over Lake Roosevelt. And then the regular season finale in the Caribou Trail League, Kashmir edged Cascade 3-2, but the Kodiaks advanced to the playoffs in Wenatchee. That's where Chelan will face Okanagan for the district championship at 3 o'clock, followed by Cascade and Omak at 5. The loser of the first game will play the winner of the second game for our last chance at state. Well, they are continuing to prepare. It's a short week, they play football tomorrow night. Eastmont Wenatchee, the bridge of sportsmanship game between these two great rivals. Wildcat Stadium is the venue. Eastmont 4-1 in league play. Wenatchee is 5-0 in league play. The Big 9 regular season title is on the line. Well, it gets dark earlier now, so our very own sports director Eric Granstrom asked Eastmont head coach Michael Don if they were tempted to practice under the lights in the stadium.
No, not really. We try to keep our field as nice as possible. Really, nobody practices on it ever. It's not touched outside of games for any sport. So wasn't even a thought process for us to go out there. And, we just have to be efficient with our practice time. And that's what we're trying to do this week is keep doing what we do as far as efficiency. We practice fast, not a lot of talking, and just try to get a lot of reps in and make sure that we're being as efficient as possible. I said efficient about 4 times there, but trying to do that as well as we can and just get through practice and keep working.
The big question mark looming over the game is whether Wenatchee's all-league running back Nate Blauman is going to be able to play. He missed Friday's game down in Walla Walla with a back injury, but and he's questionable, by the way, for tomorrow night. But Coach Michael Don says his Wildcats are preparing, assuming that Nate Blauman is going to play football.
I hope he plays. You never want to see a team have to play without one of their studs, and I hope we get the opportunity to play against him. He's a great running back. He's done an amazing job for them. You can see the difference in who they are when he's in and not in. He's a difference maker. He's a special kid. You don't get a lot of kids that are as big and smooth as him. He's just got a knack of not getting hit hard. And we're excited for the opportunity to play against him. It's two of the best teams in our league. And, we had a slip up early in the year, so it makes this game worth a lot more for us.
By the way, we'll hear from the Wenatchee Panthers side of the ball tomorrow as we get ready for the Bridge of Sportsmanship game. Again, it's tomorrow night. You can watch it right here on the NCW Live channel. Eric and Graham at the pregame at 6:30. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. By the way, tickets are available at the athletic offices of either high school. If you decide to buy a ticket at the gate, you will be standing in line for a very long time. Get them in advance. Let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks. They may have a little extra help at wide receiver come Monday when they're down in Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Josh Gordon was picked up a couple of weeks ago after being waived by the Patriots. Coach Pete Carroll says he expects to see him on the field this week.
He's been cleared to go. He's ready to go. So again, we'll on Thursday when we get rolling again, he'll be going. He's in the building studying and all that, getting ready, and so we'll see how it goes.
What was your initial impression of Josh?
He was really clear, excited to be here. Had a good conversation about on a lot of topics and in a short time, and he met with the coaches and all that. He's bright, sharp, ready to learn, humble, looking for the opportunity to make something happen to help the club, and he had his seemingly had his sights on getting here. I was hoping to get here, so that's a good thing.
Now, the 49ers are the last undefeated team in the NFL. They're 8-0 on the year. Remember last year they were 4-12. Coach Carroll says he's been very impressed with the 49ers turnaround.
They've come a long ways in a short time, and Kyle's done a really nice job to turn the corner, to get to this point. Just judging off the last couple of years, they've always shown really good signs. This is a high-tech team. They're on their stuff. Their schemes, their principles are really good, and they've always been that. They just had trouble getting it all together and getting their wins, but they're together now. They really are sharp in all aspects of their team. Defense is just playing lights out. They've had the benefit of some really good drafts, and they're loaded. Offensively, Kyle has always presented a bunch of problems and challenges with a really clear philosophy and approach, and real good sense for running the football, real commitment for running the football. The play passes off that stuff complement so well. It's just right now, the way they're firing, it's a very, very difficult team because they're complete. They look like a really complete football team.
Seahawks, 49ers, Santa Clara, California, Monday night football. Next week, one more item of business to take care of in sports. Wild vouchers. I got 4 of them. These are ticket vouchers. Again, you can use them for any game you want. Now, the Penticton V's are in town this weekend. They always travel well. They bring a big contingent of fans down from Penticton. I think they're the Wild's biggest rival in the British Columbia Hockey League. It's going to be a great series Friday and Saturday night. But these, and I got 4 of them, family 4-pack, but you don't have to use them on Friday or Saturday. You can use them any game you want, regular season game, provided, of course, that they don't sell out. This is an email contest, so hop on your computer and email me, winner@ncwlife.com. Winner@ncwlife.com. It's 1 entry per email address. If you have more than 1 email address, you can enter more than once, but only once per email address. We keep a close eye on these things. Friday morning at 10 a.m., I'll give these tickets away. And again, you can use them. You can use a pair now and a pair later if you want. Whatever you want to do. These are ticket vouchers for Wenatchee Wild. Winner@ncwlife.com. And there you go. Those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday at the bottom of the hour. The obscure holiday. It's Saxophone Day. Adolph Sax was born on this day back in 1814, invented and introduced the saxophone to the world in 1840, one of the great musical instruments ever because it goes with almost any genre of music. Most beginners start with the alto saxophone. It's the easiest one to play, but you got the tenor saxophone, the baritone saxophone, the soprano saxophone. It depends on what kind of music you're playing, but you can play a saxophone in rock and roll, in jazz. Of course, marching bands, they're an essential instrument to that. It is National Saxophone Day. I was going to play my saxophone for you a little bit today, but I was always told no sax in the morning. So happy National Saxophone Day. Dig out your saxophone and give it a toot. There you go. I don't even think I have a mouthpiece for my sax anymore. Let's do Today in History. Once again, all this week, it's all election related, and it was a good day for Abe Lincoln. 159 years ago today, November 6, 1860, Abraham Lincoln elected the 16th president of the United States. The 1860 election was the last of 5 consecutive elections in which the incumbent president was not a candidate in the general election. A lot of turnover in the White House back in those days, but Abe Lincoln was elected to the gig on this date, November 6th, 1860. November 6th, 1928, 91 years ago today, Herbert Hoover, elected as the 31st president of the United States. He was the last Republican to win the presidential election until Eisenhower in 1952. Hoover, of course, presided over the Great Depression, which he really didn't have a lot to do with. Historians are starting to reassess the presidency of Herbert Hoover. He might have just been a victim of bad timing, but he was elected to the presidency on this day back in 1928. November 6, 1956, 63 years ago today, Ike wins in a landslide. He's re-elected president of the United States over the guy he beat 4 years earlier. It was a rematch between Eisenhower and Adlai Stevenson, the Democratic nominee. This was the last presidential election, by the way, in which both candidates were born in the 19th century. November 6, 1984, 35 years ago today, Reagan made it look pretty easy. Ronald Reagan re-elected president of the United States in a landslide. His 525 electoral votes remains the highest of all time. The only 2 states that Walter Mondale won was the District of Columbia and his home state of Minnesota. Reagan re-elected 35 years ago today. And 7 years ago today, Barack Obama re-elected into a second term as President of the United States. Mitt Romney was so confident he was going to win, he didn't even write a concession speech. Probably wishes that he had. Barack Obama re-elected on this date 7 years ago. And finally, we've got some birthdays for you. All of them historic birthdays. The guy who invented basketball. Very few people can say they invented a sport that has worldwide popularity. Nobody really knows who invented soccer. Football evolved. Baseball was not invented by Nelson Doubleday. Anyway, James Naismith invented basketball. He was Canadian by birth, and he was working at the YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts in the winter of 1891, and all the students there said, well, there's nothing to do in the dead of winter. They had a gymnasium, so he tacked up a couple of peach baskets on each side, drew up 13 rules, and called it basketball. By the way, the document listing the original 13 rules of basketball, as written by James Naismith, sold at an auction for $4.5 million. That's the most amount of money ever paid for any sports memorabilia. James Naismith, the inventor of basketball, born in the state in 1861. The Big Train, Walter Johnson, the greatest right-handed pitcher in baseball history, was born in the state in 1887, died in 1946 at the age of 59. He was known as the Big Train, the most shutouts in history, 110 shutouts. I don't think that record will ever be broken. Second all-time in victories, 417 victories, and one of the first 5 of the original inductees into the Baseball Hall of Fame. The Big Train, the greatest right-handed pitcher in baseball history, Walter Johnson, born in the state in 1887. We miss Glenn Frey, the great Glenn Frey. He was born in the state in 1948, died at the age of 67 a few years ago. Of course, a founding member of the Eagles. 24 top 40 hits for Glenn Frey between his work with the Eagles and as a solo member, and he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in 1998. Glenn Frey, born in the state in 1948, and Pat Tillman, born in the state in 1976, of course, was killed by friendly fire in Afghanistan in April of 2004. He played after 4 years of playing in the NFL, making $500,000 a year. He turned down a contract offer of $3.6 million and instead joined the Army in May of 2002. Pat Tillman posthumously awarded the Silver Star and the Purple Heart. One last business to get to before we take a break, and that's Campbell's. Campbell's has the local rate going again. They do this a couple of times a year. It's the NCW Life Destination Deal at Campbell's Resort. $95 a night. I kid you not. That's not a misprint. That's it. $95 a night. Now, I'm not an accountant. I don't work at Campbell's, but I don't know how they can possibly get away with that rate. But hey, if they want to get goofy and do that, we're not going to stop them. $95 a night. That's all it costs. The only thing you have to prove is that you're a local. You're from the North Central Washington area. And you can go up on a beautiful autumn weekend and kick around Campbell's and enjoy the food and the wine. And speaking of the holidays, by the way, if you've got a big holiday party and you want Campbell's to host it, you better book it now, especially if you want to do it on a Friday or Saturday. All right, Campbell's, the destination deal. Check it out, $95 a night. Thank you, Campbell's. That's good. All right, 35 minutes after the hour, going to take a break. Everyone is entitled to Mike Minardi's opinion. And then we talk about the Wenatchee School District's All-District Musical. It's called Matilda. They're getting ready to part the curtains and do a show. Paul Atwood is the director. And the two Matildas, there's two leads, Celia Kiesz and Kate Berry, will all be on the show when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Are you like many who are lacking in their retirement plan but are skeptical to talk to an advisor? Are you concerned about where you should put your money or who to trust? At Solomon Financial, we are more about the people we serve than policies or products. We are a fee-based fiduciary with the mission of giving you the peace of mind so you can live the retirement of your dreams. If you have any of these questions or concerns, we'd welcome you to come see us.
Some jobs are a calling. They call on something higher, something deeper, and a commitment to country that never dies. At Giesa Credit Union, we help you support local veterans. With every purchase you make with a Giesa Local Heroes Affinity debit card, we make a donation to select veterans organizations. After all, we can never repay them, but we can do our best to help a little with the Giesa Veterans Affinity debit card.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm a regular churchgoer. Yeah, good for me, right? But sometimes I run into people who used to go to church, but they don't anymore, and I ask them why. And they often say something like this: I had to miss church for 3 weeks in a row, and no one called me to see if I was okay. Now, my response to them is, why do you think people go to church? They're specifically looking for you. Sure, it would be nice if we noticed other people or the lack of them more than we care about ourselves, but come on, really. Blaming other people for your deciding not to go to church is kind of lame, don't you think? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
You know, earlier when I said Matilda was the hottest ticket in town, I meant it because I went down to the New America Performing Arts Center. I bought 2 tickets, and I was holding them, second-degree burns on my fingertips. It's the hottest ticket in town. We just talked to Paul Atwood. Now the show really gets good because we have both Matildas here in our studio. We'll explain that in just a little bit. Ladies, introduce yourselves to our television family. You go first, please.
I'm Celia Kiesz, and I am in 7th grade. I'm Kate Berry, and I am in 4th grade.
And you're both playing Matilda. You play the same character. Is that, what's that like to, do you compare your performances with each other during the rehearsal? I gotta do better than she.
I gotta do way better than her.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know.
So let's go back in time. They decided they're going to do a show called Matilda, and you decided to try out. How did you decide I want to try out for this play?
Well,
you go first.
So I kind of found out that they were doing Matilda, like in the spring, and then I was already listening to all of the songs and singing to them, and so I was just like, I really want to try out for this show. It'd be so much fun. Yeah.
Same deal for you. How did you find out about the role, and how
Well,
did you?
I did know that Celia was gonna do it, so I kind of had to do it.
Oh, okay. Do you like your character, Matilda? Both of you. Do you like the person who you're playing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you gotta be a big reader. You both read
Mhm.
a lot.
Mhm.
Do you
I'm
read a lot?
more of a math person.
More of a math person. Okay, but you can play somebody who reads a lot on stage, and that's the important thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What books do you like to read?
Fantasy.
Yeah.
I guess.
You ever read the dictionary? It's got all the books in it. Okay. You haven't read the dictionary.
Well, we like to read Nicholas Nickleby, Oliver Twist, Jane Eyre, and a lot more books.
Do you girls, do you like each other? Do you like playing off each other?
Yeah.
You seem to be pretty good friends. You seem to be pretty good friends. Do you like the story? Do you like the story that you're going to tell to the audience?
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's Matilda, the head character. Your character is kind of an outcast, kind of away from the maddening crowd, and yet that's the whole idea, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a really fun show too. We have like the dances are really fun. We have a lot of like cool swings and like surprises throughout the show.
Do you like Mrs. Devereaux as the choreographer?
Yes.
Yeah. Now this is the question that Mr. Atwood wanted me to ask. Okay, who's your favorite director?
Oh. I think Paul.
I don't know.
Yeah, made up your mind yet? Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
I think it was from the last show
Wait,
I had.
is
Yeah.
Kelly gonna see this?
Yeah. Kelly's actually my favorite director too.
She's gonna. No, I mean Paul, but is Kelly gonna see this?
Oh yeah, Kelly's absolutely going to see this.
Paul's my favorite.
Yeah,
director.
there you go. Paul's your favorite
You know
director.
what I think about it? I don't really know. Is Kelly's gonna see this?
When you got, tell me how you found out you had the role. Did you guys have a huge just party? Did you go to Dairy Queen and have ice cream? What did you do?
I just kind of got a text from her mom.
And said, "You're Matilda."
Yeah, and then I just went on my trampoline and called people.
It was kind of, so I was like already like in my bed and it was like 10 o'clock or something, and my mom comes in, she's like, we got the cast list, and my mom, I always ask her not to tell me when I get a cast list back. I'm like, no, don't tell me who I am, I want to know. And so I look and I'm like, yes, and I was just, I couldn't sleep at all, I was so excited.
Did you have any idea how hard work it is? Because it's hard work to do a show, isn't it? All the rehearsing, the dancing, learning the songs, learning where you're supposed to be on stage at any one time. It's hard work. Did you know that when you got there?
Yes, Mark.
Yeah. Was it hard? I mean, it's hard work, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you nervous about the 14th? You have to take the lead on the first show, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and how you feeling?
A little nervous, but I think I can pull it together.
You get one more extra day to wait. How about you? Are you ready to go? Are you good to go?
Kind of.
If you could do,
But I will be.
Okay. If you could do the show tomorrow, could you do the show tomorrow, or you
No.
still got some work to
Not
do?
yet.
You still got some work to do. When you're on stage in character, do you even know there's an audience out there? Because there's lights and things. Do you even know that there's people out there, or are you just so lost in your role that you kind of forget and you just start having fun?
Yeah, well, sometimes
I kind of can't take my eyes off it.
Yeah, you can like see all the people, and sometimes you know the people, but you're not really supposed to look them in the eyes, except for like certain parts in the show. So it's kind of hard, and you're like, yeah. But
Do you people, friends of yours are going to be watching this on TV? Is there anybody particular that you want to say hi to? You can go first.
my family.
Okay.
Hello, family.
Do you have siblings? Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes.
How many?
3. Parker, Elliot, and Ava.
Do you like them?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who? What do you?
3 siblings. I have a brother and 2 sisters.
Do you like them?
I don't know.
And
Tough to say.
And your favorite teacher is
Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson,
Yeah,
and your
Toby
favorite
Johnson.
teacher is your teacher?
Miss Weber.
Miss Weber.
But I would like to say, hi, Harper.
Hi, Harper.
And May and Ellie. Hello, Mira and Piper and Alexa and Helen and everyone.
Oh, yeah, and everyone that I know. Hi.
And I'd like to say hi to my accountant. I will be paying my bills shortly. I made it. I really made it. Girls, it's so nice to meet you. I can't wait for the 14th. I can't wait to see you girls on stage. When you're on stage and you're not, are you going to watch the show?
No, I just get to chillax.
Yeah, you just get to chillax?
Yeah.
Who does closing night?
I also do closing night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations
And
on...
there's 2 matinees.
Do you think you want us to keep doing this? I mean, do you want to... 2 years from now when they do another all-district musical, are you in regardless of what it is?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And one more question. Do you like Mr. Atwood or not? We got to get this on the record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Matilda is the all-district musical. Tickets are on sale right now. Anytime you want to get them, the Numerica Performing Arts Center box office. Check it out. Check out this great talent. I've seen the rehearsals. I'm really excited about seeing all this incredible talented kids. 170 kids involved in this production, plus backstage. Kudos to the volunteers. Kudos to the parents. Kudos to Paul. Have a great show. Girls, break a leg.
Oh, don't worry, we will.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I hope we tape this in advance. I may be canceled by now. Who knows? We'll be right back.
After 21 years at the Lake Chelan Mailboxes store, Jerry and Sherry are ready to retire. Jerry and Sherry would like to thank everyone and give some lucky person a business opportunity. That's right, you could own a great small business in Lake Chelan with a proven track record. This includes FedEx, UPS, and USPS services, making it a unique offer. For information on buying Chelan mailboxes, call Jerry or Sherry, and while you're there, wish them well.
Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Club Crow is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow Saturday nights. We have live bands to rock the night away. Club Crow is bringing comedy to Cashmere. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming dates. Live jam session first Sunday of every month. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is the hottest ticket on the fall theater season. It is the Wenatchee School District's all-district musical. They do it every other year. On even-numbered years, it's just the high school kids getting together and putting on a show. But on odd-numbered years, like this is 2019. It is 2019, right, Paul?
Yes, it is.
On 2019, odd-numbered years, it's the whole district musical gets together and has a big party at the Wenatchee High School Auditorium. The man to my immediate left is no stranger to this program. Give it up for the director of Matilda, Mr. Paul Atwood.
Thank you.
You handsome son of a gun.
I just get better with age.
You
no
do.
time.
We went and saw you guys on Monday. I shot some
Yes.
footage of rehearsal. From what
Yeah.
I've seen, from the number you were rehearsing on Monday, things are coming together real well.
It's coming along.
Yeah.
And well, Jennifer Devereaux, our choreographer, has been really working them hard. There's a lot of numbers, especially for the young core kids. You know, there's like 20 of them that I have to learn like 4 or 5 dance numbers, and so they've been working hard.
When you say young core, how young are the youngest cast
They're
members?
from middle school down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they have a sense of what's going on.
There's a couple high schoolers, but
Yeah.
but most of them are middle school and grade school.
And Jennifer's a taskmaster, but she
Yes,
makes
she
it
is.
fun.
Oh yeah,
She makes it fun.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She works so well with those.
Yeah.
I have a great core of people that work, with me and put on these productions that are, people like, how you do it? Well, I have a bunch of fantastic people, and a couple of them are my producers, Beth Neer and Michelle Roswald.
Yep.
They're fantastic.
And they have been there. They have not missed a rehearsal yet. There were a lot of parents that were cheerleading in the audience as we observed the rehearsal.
Yeah.
Why Matilda? First of all, a brief plot synopsis of the show, and then why the decision to do Matilda as your all-district musical?
The brief synopsis is this gal that she has powers, and she she doesn't belong basically with her family. They treat her really bad, and then she's befriended kind of by one of the teachers at her school, and it's a book by Roald Dahl. Okay. So you know how quirky and funny it is. You know, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
Sure.
James the Giant Peach, Matilda, and it's fun, and it gives a lot of a lot of parables and things that work and in today's time that we totally like, oh, but the main thing is the books. She's a bookworm, and she loves reading all these books, which I love that theme through the whole story.
Is it a period piece? What's the time period?
It's like 70s,
Okay.
80s maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a cross between that.
Who made the decision to do this? Is it a group effort, or it's who decides we're going to do Matilda this year?
Well, usually Kelly and I and a couple of the producers from past will get together and see what are our options. And for the district musicals, we always like to get a show that we can incorporate a bunch of people.
Yeah.
You know, the kids, they can try out from 2nd grade up to 12th grade, living in the Chelan district. And so we don't like to not cast anybody, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
So yeah.
If
So we have about 178 actors, and then probably about another 20 or so working backstage. And
So basically, if you're not afraid to be up on stage, and who's kidding who, it takes some guts, especially for an adolescent to go up on stage. If you're not afraid to go up there and you're good at taking direction, you're going to be cast one way or the other. You're going to be on stage at least for one number during the show.
And I like to typically do shows that I haven't done before.
Right.
And this one came out on Broadway probably about 5 years ago, maybe. And so now it's out. The royalties are available for schools and communities and stuff. So we got on it, and it'll be the first time in Central Washington that Matilda's performed here.
Wow.
So the premiere.
The title character, the main protagonist in this show, you have not just one Matilda, you have two.
Two.
Because?
Well,
you couldn't make up your mind?
I couldn't make up. They're both equally fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, our auditions, Kelly and I both were like just amazed. You know, we're lucky to live in a community that has so much talent. And these little ones are just as talented, and I said, well, why don't we have two? We've done that in the past.
Yeah.
And it just gives them a better opportunity. You know, more people, more kids that can show off their...
And it's the Matilda title character is a younger girl,
Yes.
and it's a challenging role.
Yeah.
And to dump all of that on one single lead can be problematic. I can see that for sure.
And these two gals that you're going to meet, Kate Berry and Celia Kiesz, they work so well together. They're like two peas in a pod. They're just fantastic, and they play off each other. And what will happen is they will, I think we start with Kate first on opening night, and then it'll be Celia and Kate, and then...
But when Kate's on stage in the title role, Celia's still on stage playing another role.
No,
vice
she's
versa?
not.
No,
Nope.
okay.
Nope.
Just wanted to make sure on
Yeah,
that.
that's such a...
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge role.
Yeah.
So...
The choreography is fantastic.
Yes.
From what I was able to see.
Yeah.
A lot of singing, a lot of dancing, and a lot of energy.
Yes.
To this show, there's not a lot of the plot moves around very quickly, but the show is a show. I mean,
Yes.
it's got a lot of pizzazz to it.
Yeah, it's. I think it was nominated for best musical that year on Broadway and stuff. But yeah, it's a fast pacing. Well, we like to do that too. I mean, there's no downtime.
Yeah.
Kelly, I mean, we're louder, faster, funnier, louder, faster, funnier, and because in today's time we are just bombarded with so much stuff that even just a little bit of downtime, people just get bored. What does this play over with? I think I'll turn on my phone. You know.
As Paul mentioned, I'm going to interview. The second part of this thing, I'm going to interview both of the lead Matildas here in just a couple of minutes. But we don't want to short shrift any of the cast members.
No.
So taking the two Matildas out, because again, I'll be talking to them shortly.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the other cast members and the roles they play and how they move the plot along. Some of the cast members you want to stand out.
The two in the district musicals, sometimes we have like an adult mentor.
Right. You did the same thing with Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and I think there's only been a couple of musicals that I didn't do that with. But Pam Cole always did that. My mentor, Pam Cole, who started the district musical. I was an adult mentor back in the day. And anyway, it's always just to kind of get a community member. And this one, David Williams plays Miss Trunchbull. And it's the funniest. When I saw the show over in Issaquah last December, all I could think of was David. I've worked with David many times, and it's a fun character. He just chooses a scene, and he's a teacher at Washington School. Okay. So it's he knows how to work well with kids and stuff, and he's gonna be funny. Oh boy, is he gonna be funny.
Matilda is the Wenatchee School District All-District Musical. Opening night is the 12th of November? Is
No,
that correct?
14th, 15th,
Thank you.
16th.
Thank you.
And then the 21st, 22nd, 23rd.
23rd.
And there's 2 matinees.
Yep.
And you get tickets down at the Performing Arts Center.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the show starts at 7 o'clock.
Good. Can't wait for it.
Oh, it's
I'm
gonna be
about
fun.
ready to interview the 2 Matildas. Any particular question you want me to ask them, Paul?
Who's their best director?
You got it.
Of all time.
You got it. Paul Atwood, the director of Matilda, the All-District Musical. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be back with the 2 Matildas. Don't go anywhere.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
The world around us is constantly changing. Major employers in north central Washington have expressed a need for capable, qualified engineering technologists who can think critically and solve problems. And at Wenatchee Valley College, we listened. We are pleased to offer a Bachelor of Applied Science Engineering Technology degree to provide you with a world of new opportunities. Your time is now. The future is waiting for you.
At the Siren Song Vineyard Estate Winery and Restaurant on the south shore of Lake Chelan, you'll discover a variety of handcrafted wines and a European-inspired menu. Join us for live music, private events and weddings, cooking classes, and more. Sip, dine, and take in the stunning views of Lake Chelan at Siren Song. Visit sirensongwines.com for hours and event information. Everyone has a siren song. What's yours?
And we are back. Before we get to your weather forecast to close out this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, we have some breaking news to talk about a 3-car crash that happened about 6:30 this morning on State Route 28, about 4 miles outside of East Wenatchee. Claimed the life of a person. It was a 3-car crash. Again, 1 fatality according to the Washington State Patrol. The highway, by the way, has been reopened. The investigation continues. We'll have more on this fatality collision just outside of East Wenatchee on Highway 28 when we have the news tonight with Grant at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. On to better news. Let's do the weather forecast. If you like sunshine, it's looking good. High pressure dome is large and in charge. Going to be hanging around for another 3 days. It's going to slowly start breaking down. It's big. It's been dominating the weather really all over the west coast of the United States. It's not going to last forever, but we have another beautiful day of sunshine, although we still have that air stagnation advisory. It's in effect until noon on Friday. The pollution is not being dispersed because you need wind, and there is no wind at all in the forecast for the foreseeable future. We don't cloud up again until Friday night when a weak system comes down. Looking mild on Saturday and Sunday, but more clouds than sun. No rain in the forecast, no wind in the forecast. That's what we really need is wind to get rid of this air stagnation. In the meantime, the air stagnation advisory remains in effect until noon on Friday. So lots of sunshine today. Temperatures just a little bit above normal. Overnight lows just about the normal mark, but milder by quite a bit on Saturday and Sunday. And if you're heading to the Bridges Sportsmanship game tomorrow night, it'll be in the 40s at kickoff. And provided this show isn't canceled, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.